Mama, this one you hired looks like he's hiding something. His eyes, they're too knowing.
Ifunanya, shut your mouth. I paid good money for a husband who can handle you. What he knows is how to put stubborn girls in their place.
But Mama...
Enough! The wedding is in 3 days.
Ooh, family, hold your breath because what you're about to hear will make your jaw drop. But before we dive into this shocking story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell so you never miss these powerful tales. Now, let me tell you about Madam Nneoma, a woman so rich, she bought senators like she bought shoes. In Enugu, where money talked louder than thunder, she owned everything. Plazas that blocked the sun. Trucks that moved like armies. A mansion so big, visitors got lost looking for the bathroom. But all that wealth couldn't buy her peace from her daughter, Ifunanya. This girl. Lord have mercy. 28 years old, beautiful like morning sunshine, but her character. Rotten like wicked fish. She'd insulted 12 suitors 12. One man, she poured hot pepper soup on his lap because he pronounced her name wrong. Another, she told him his village was so backward, even mosquitoes refused to visit. The breaking point came at the country club. Ifunanya called Chief Okonkwo's son. Listen to this, a grasshopper wearing his father's abode. In front of everyone. That night, Madam Nneoma made a decision that would destroy them all. She called Mr. Ike at 2 a.m. Find me a man. Not these soft boys. A real man. Someone who needs money enough to do this work properly. 2 weeks later, he walked through those golden gates. Zikora. Tall, calm, too calm for someone being bought like furniture. The wedding happened so fast, people's gossip couldn't keep up. 3 days. That's all Madam Nneoma gave the city to prepare for the biggest wedding Enugu had ever seen. She rented Transcorp Hilton, flew in flowers from Dubai, and invited everyone who'd ever whispered about her unmarriageable daughter. But something was wrong, family. Very, very wrong. As Ifunanya danced, spraying money like rain, laughing loud enough to crack glass, the older women watched the groom. One grandmother grabbed her friend's hand tight. You see his face? What about it? He's smiling with his mouth. But his eyes look like a man attending a burial. When Zikora said I do, his voice didn't shake with joy. It was steady. Too steady. Like a soldier accepting an assignment he trained for his whole life. During the reception, something strange happened. Ifunanya insulted a waiter for spilling wine. But Zikora. He quietly apologized to the man and slipped him 50,000 naira. Why did you do that? Ifunanya snapped. He's just a waiter. Zikora looked at her, and for 1 second just one his mask slipped. My mother was just a cleaner. Respect doesn't care about position. That night, instead of romance, Zikora sat on the balcony staring at Madam Nneoma's company building glowing in the distance. Don't you want to, you know? Ifunanya tried. Not tonight, he said quietly. Tonight I need to remember why I'm here. And family, while Enugu celebrated love, Zikora pulled out a faded photograph and whispered to it, 3 more weeks, Mama. Just 3 more weeks. 3 days after the honeymoon, everything changed. Ifunanya woke up expecting her husband to worship her like everyone else did. Instead, she found Zikora in the living room, reading a thick file with her mother's company stamp on it. Her blood went cold. What's that? She asked, voice shaking. Zikora looked up, calm as water. Just reading. That's my mother's private documents. How did you get those? Your mother gave me access. I'm family now. His voice was flat. Too flat. Family, let me tell you, Ifunanya had never felt fear like this. Her own mother had never let her see those files. Never. She ran to her mother's office, nearly breaking the door. Mama, why is Zikora reading our private files? Madam Nneoma waved her hand like she was swatting a fly. Maybe if you'd acted with sense all these years, I would have trained you properly. Now go. Let the man walk. Boom. Just like that, Ifunanya realized she'd become a stranger in her own life. Within 2 weeks, Zikora had reorganized everything. He cancelled her late-night parties. Not safe. He monitored her spending. Budget. He even started investigating her friends. That one, Kamsi, she's not your friend. She's your audience. There's a difference. Ifunanya exploded. Who do you think you are? My father. The moment that changed everything came when she raised her hand to slap him. Zikora caught her wrist midair, firm but gentle. His grip was warm, strong, and somehow protective. You can hate me, IFU, he said softly. But I won't let you destroy yourself. Then he let go and walked away. Ifunanya stood there, breathing hard, feeling something she'd never felt before. Safe. Thursday night. 9:43 p.m. Ifunanya heard shouting from downstairs, Zikora's voice, but different. Sharp. Commanding. Dangerous. She rushed down to find 3 men in her living room. Family, these weren't normal visitors. One had a scar across his face like lightning had kissed him. Another held something metallic that caught the light wrong. And Zikora. He stood between them and the staircase. Between them and her. I said leave, Zikora repeated, voice like broken glass. The scarred man laughed. Ziko, we had a deal. You said you'd. Plans changed. Plans don't change, brother. Blood doesn't forget. Ifunanya's heart stopped. Brother. They knew him. Zikora's shoulders tensed like a cobra ready to strike. I'm not doing it. Tell them I'm out. The scarred man's smile vanished. You know what happens when people get out. For 3 seconds, nobody breathed. The air itself seemed scared. Then Zikora moved. Family, I've never seen violence so beautiful and terrible. He disarmed the first man, twisted the scarred one's arm until it cracked, and had the third on his knees before Ifunanya could even scream. Leave, Zikora said, breathing controlled while they gasped for air. And tell whoever sent you that Zikora is done. If they come for me, I'm ready. But if they touch my wife, his voice dropped to something primal, I'll burn everything down. The men limped out, cursing and bleeding. Zikora turned to Ifunanya, and for the first time, she saw real fear in his eyes. Not for himself. For her. IFU, pack a bag. We are leaving tonight. What are you? He closed his eyes like the words physically hurt. Someone who made mistakes. Someone who came here to hide. Someone who. His voice cracked, someone who was supposed to use you, but instead. Instead what? Ifunanya whispered. Instead I fell in love with you. The room spun. Ifunanya couldn't breathe. They didn't leave that night. Instead, they sat in darkness while Zikora confessed everything. His real name was Zikora Okafor. 5 years ago, he worked for a dangerous network of corporate spies who destroyed companies from inside. He was the best. Too good. Your mother's company was my target, he said, voice hollow. I was supposed to marry you, steal information, help them take over her contracts. So everything, us, this was all fake. Zikora's eyes filled with tears. It started fake. But you weren't who I thought you'd be. He pulled out a USB drive. Everything's on here. Every crime. Every name. I'm going to the authorities. But I feel your mother might get caught up in this. Some of our partners are dirty. Ifunanya looked at this man, this criminal who'd protected her, this liar who'd loved her. Do it, she whispered. Do what's right. The next 72 hours were chaos. Zikora walked into the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission with a USB drive, and family, all hell broke loose. Within 48 hours, arrests started happening. Small fish first. Then bigger ones. Then the sharks. News cameras swarmed like hungry vultures. Breaking, major corporate spy ring exposed in Enugu. Madam Nneoma's phone ran non-stop. Madam, they are investigating your partners. Her hands shook. Which partners? The ones from the Lekki deal. The ones from... She dropped the phone. That afternoon, Madam Nneoma burst into Ifunanya's house like a hurricane. You brought a criminal into my house. But Ifunanya quiet, transformed Ifunanya stood between them. Mama, he's trying to make things right. Slap. Family, Madam Nneoma had never hit her daughter. Never. But she did that day. You defend the man who came to destroy us. Ifunanya's tears fell, but her voice stayed strong. He came to destroy us. But you created him, Mama. Your corrupt partners, your dirty deals. Get out of my sight. Meanwhile, Zikora's past leaked online. His photo was everywhere. Society wedding was criminal cover-up. Comments flooded in like poison. He's a fraud. She's a fool. Lock them both up. But then Ifunanya did something nobody expected. She recorded herself no makeup, eyes red from crying, voice raw. My name is Ifunanya. You know me as the spoiled rich girl. You're right. I was. But my husband, the man you're calling a criminal, he saved me. Not from danger. From myself. She took a shaky breath. He came into my life with a plan to destroy my family, but instead, he protected us. He's facing his past now, paying for his mistakes. And I'm standing with him. Because that's what love does. Family, that video got 2 million views in 6 hours. 2 million. But the network struck back hard. They hired lawyers. They threatened to expose Madam Nneoma's questionable land deals from 15 years ago. You want to play hero, they told Zikora. We'll show everyone your new family is dirty too. That night, alone in her office, Madam Nneoma pulled out old files. She stared at them, seeing the truth she'd buried under money. She called her lawyer. Prepare a statement. Full disclosure. Whatever needs to be paid back, we pay back. 6 months later. Will the defendant please rise? Zikora stood in that courtroom, and family, Ifunanya held her breath so tight her chest hurt. Based on your cooperation as a state witness, no charges will be filed. The courtroom erupted. Outside, protesters screamed. Criminal! Lock him up. But Ifunanya waited with an umbrella even though it wasn't raining. Just in case, she said, trying to smile. Zikora looked at her, this woman who'd lost everything for him. We have nothing, IFU. No house in Lekki. No Land Cruiser. Your mother won't even look at us. We have each other. That's not nothing. From her car across the street, Madam Nneoma watched with tears in her eyes. Mr. Ike asked, should we go talk to them, madam? Not yet. Let them struggle small. Let them prove it's real. 1 year later. They lived in a tiny flat in Abakpo. Zikora worked as a security consultant using his spy skills legally now. Ifunanya volunteered at an NGO helping fraud victims. She burned rice trying to cook for the first time. They laughed. Then one day, an envelope arrived. Cash inside. A note, not from me. From someone who sees what I pretended not to. Ifunanya knew. At Zikora's ethics conference speech, Madam Nneoma sat in the back row. Afterwards, she approached them. You destroyed my pride, she said quietly. But you rebuilt my daughter. I don't know if I can forgive yet. But I can try. Ifunanya hugged her mother, the first real hug in years. Family, the moral. The husband you buy might come with secrets. But the love you don't plan for, that arrives with healing. Sometimes the person who enters your life to destroy you becomes the one who saves you from yourself. Now tell me, would you have forgiven them? Drop your answer below.